Well, so it's all over. Takwa. At the end of 90 minutes, a hard-fought victory for Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Okono ne moding. Ne matcha. So when you be share ne matcha ne moding. Ne matcha be can say better. A lot of issues. NFPA free match and a lot to discuss. By the end of 90 minutes, the most important thing when it comes to football and Asante Kotoko and Sa Etimiaka, and that is picking the win against Brekum Chelsea to move to the next stage of the MTN FA Cup. The long and short of the day is that Kotoko could do the FA Cup final. The first time since 2017. Since 2017, Kumasi Asante Kotoko entimi wuremu ewo eye FA Cup final. Into Kotoko eye one win away from the CAF Confederation Cup. And no ehon komo any baby. The goal was scored by Amoah, and clearly it looks like there's so much joy on the street, especially the Asante Kotoko fans. Now, yonko game na nkasemu. Well, Kotoko today, Coach Karim Zito no be any what is ahead. This is the third match of Coach Karim Zito. Don't forget, saying the first game was Diana Stars by 1-0. In the second game, and only had to fuck a couple 0-0. And this match was so important because anything outside a qualification, now Emma Kotoko sees, Nemaninya a very, very big blow. Intinamachi, Neni Brewum. Proud to the game. There were injury issues. In Senao Shea, Kotoko started with Mohamed Kamara, Justice Blay on the right side. Now when Albert Amoah on the left, Samba will nail. And then a brand here, friend Harry Ansu, and about 4 and 5. Ansu is in the form of his life. Now middle, Ubenya Andrews in team menu. Now when you're branch friend Babaya, then when you're on the flanks, when you're Elvis Chiba for Saka Dauda, Kwame Poku, and Albert Amoah in the lead attack. No. On the bench, there's Samson Duku Solomon Sa, Fernando Bassi, Daniel Ajete, Avoka, Isaka, and Joseph Ablo. In two share, Lord Amoah and me and make this particular trip for Asante Kotoko. The story on Kwesi Asante week we be able to mu pa Kwesi Asante story no. Then you come to the middle, no somewhat do because there are too many that I say Pransemo. Michael Chejamana was also absent in this game. Ya catch us Isaac Minta ehwa kakakra. Emma Minta so ntimi ameke e de tomanim confidence de tomanim. Ya de tomanim say Peter Aqua esu pra nti na no nyina any game no. And that was the 4-4-2 system. Coach Karim Zito Ediwura game no. Oba no. Utimu say ne ball no obo nyina he always prefer say Babaya ebebo close to change one defensive midfielder. But there are two and him say on the positives and negatives, especially when you made a midfielder. Try some overcrowded no. But that was the lineup. Asante Kotoko put up. Na oko Chelsea coach a friend Samuel Buedu also a parody a 4-3-3 system and any dear coach the boy into Hubert Jaumo Vincent Ajay Emu Mfimfin ho Patrick Ananemo Mohamed Seidu na wenya Zakaria Fuseni Emmanuel Enchimo ewe chiri ho na Jonah Atukwe Steven Amankona ene a free year. We money the front three are coaching at the share. So first, I think sir, in today's game you applaud the energy of the Asante Kotoko players. Yeah, share matches you don't see the seriousness in their play. Match ni buat musa asomu diagro. But I don't see will be bought nipano and koye send your expecting to say nipano be ye jumano. But utimu say the person is putting in every energy possible So bet me at turn things around. So in as much as there are certain issues which we will address in the course of this video, we saw the fighting spirit from the Kotoko team. That is something that enabled team in Abaso. I mean, the players showed a high level of determination. Your Kotoko team in ball 0-0. Ball team ko throw. Na the okofa throw no krato no. As a shini ho. But there was some form of urgency in how the team were playing. I mean, it was a match. Clearly, you can see that Brekum Chelsea is not an easy yet. Is easy not to crack. I mean, also, this is a team who Jonah Tukwe, Mankona, and Mezaka free leading the attack. With Zakaria Fuseni Mujinechrea, and a bad team, and they were just one win away from getting to the final. Engineer Mr. Samobodu would also love to get to the final. Enti nenya matcha oba be fanful. Nenya matcha oba be nyane trasa. But I love the energy of the Kotoko players, the passion of the Kotoko players. And that's one thing that we observed in the match. The second thing has to do with Kotoko's finishing and the use of set pieces. And then Albert Amoah say he's a striker that is very good in the air. Oshe go yo say ya. Send you free FA Brekum Chelsea defender so any goalkeeper no so. Nsano chibo na to atremu. It shows you the jump and then the presence in the air. But away from that, the number of chances our team ninya, even the same Albert Amoah, before he eventually scored the goal, he had a glorious opportunity. The execution was perfect, but I credit Bema keeper no, for making that save. But the story of the day is Kotoko had some form of chances. And these were some of the chances the team missed. That to some extent was a bit surprise. Baby, I won again. Set pieces no I see you baby. Fasobi everywhere, but yes, Obeka said go na Kotoko share no corner. But the initial corner na intibi amfa yamba. Unless another cross and the ball never to him. So it was within a set piece sequence. But it also highlights the kind of problem team when it comes to set pieces and how we are not really making the best out of it in the matches I able. Credit to the Kotoko back line. A third observation. I mean, how even when Emmanuel Sapon, a free bench by Mohamed Kamara, Samba O'Neill, Henry Ansu, Intim Menu, Elvis Sheba for supporting the right side, which is Justice Blay, Patrick Essiedu, the entire defensive work rate of the Kotoko team, I was impressed with it. What's the idea? At a point, Kotoko started ball no. Consider a go against Heart of Lions. Consider a go against Bechim United. Consider 3 against Accra Lions. Consider 2 against Nations. But Robesha Edriana Kotoko and concede. Away from that, Kotoko has ball and Kotoko net. And then Kotoko Brekum Chelsea ball and Kotoko net. So from a team where about 4 matches, now we conceded 7 goals. And now it looks like the entire problem is fixed. But to some extent, the rate at which they were conceding are dropping. Because so check even the last 3, before Zito was appointed or before statistics here, Kotoko keep 3 clean sheets here to us. Now Kotoko about 3 matches. I conceded 6 goals, which is an average of 2 goals per game. But now the last 3, they've conceded 0, which is an improvement, which is an addition. And share the entire league, no, a drew baby na free Kotoko Nsana. Nations match, no, Heart of Lions match, no. The fact that Kotoko not almost conceded, no, it affected their championship desire. But now that the team is not conceding, your catch them said defense help you win championship. When you have a solid defense, you are closer to championship because 1 goal you are saving the day. And Zito buy, Kotoko is yet to score 2 goals. But Kotoko is unbeaten because they've not considered a goal in all the matches at Omabono. And that is an improvement. Especially the return of Henry Ansu. One or the other. Zito decided to say, Jete, Empe Baby, Ntrama Sifa Bebo right. Sifa got injured. And a Blair Bebo right. Ablo is now recovering. Nti Ablo and Obem from the bench Bepeki yellow. But the point is, the combination between Ansu and Samba, especially in the first game against Adrian and Dienehu, because don't forget Ansu committed a penalty in that game. But after that, it looks like as a player, what na bench when you bimbo or started so you bimbo, and you mean no first game no be sell it. But after the first game, you see that improvement, you see that development in his game, and you start loving him, and that is what I'm trying to say. Clearly, the Kotoko defense and your improvement, keeping 3 clean sheets in the last 3 matches, and even in this game, we are talking about Brekum CHELSEA-8 as Mozata Free, Jonah Tukwe, yes, so prime, but we all know Emmanuel Sapon, stubborn striker, very workaholic of how, but keeping a clean sheet. Now to the other observations. Clearly, the front 2 between Kwame Poku and Albert Amoah looks good on paper, but the number of goals you're expecting from them is not coming. On paper, it looks very good. I mean, you can count few clubs in the Ghana League. Attackers, mienu omano oshe, to say Kwame Poku, and Albert Amoah. But in Comodiani, say, Sam Rantie mienu no. Sani ye show many muno, some be ye jumano, woman to me nye. Then Ukraine no. Sha, Kotoko 2 goals. And Amoah na said, since it to take you over. Albert Amoah ashe baako, Kwame Poku ashe baako. But I think in Zito's attempt to fix the attack, they should fix those 2 players. Many medical change on radio say me who say I don't see it that way. It's pure issue of 2 players starting to understand each other, understand the role and perform well. It looks like when Kwame Poku comes under intense pressure from the center backs of our opponents. And Kwame is not that mobile with the ball. See him for ball moving and Kwame holding. But I know Albert Amoah holding. So Albert is able to move with the ball. He is a bit mobile with the ball more than Kwame Poku. And if you've observed that, you see. So you see Albert getting so much involved with the ball, whilst Kwame Poku is crowded. Now the end game is, say Albert here mobile, he's supposed to supply it to Kwame Poku, but Albert now see a scorer on himself. So you realize that when he gets to a zone, he will try and shoot rather than pass. And then rough edges with team Numa as a set technical team in effects. Moving forward, if you want to take the team far, credit to the team for getting to the final. I mean, I won't take anything away from them. Born I born a dear a Juma with team no cranny back. Is a team that can win the FA Cup. Because if you beat Brekum Chelsea, yes, Golden Cakes is a good side. I know how game money are trying for the ball my idea. Don't forget they are the same opponent. Share heart to folk. And born here kobo Legon. Legon honom share house. Eyi house free mu. Inti ye bo Accra. Golden Cakes were Accra. But the point is, if you are 1 game away from qualifying to the CAF Confederations Cup and winning a trophy, here say obi ba be motivate you say share Golden Cakes. Is there FA Cup? Ebia to Kotoko pay. Kotoko Nania FC final, an Accra-based team. Share Kotoko. But the point is, if you are discussing the Kotoko team, you say, oh, this Kotoko team will need additions to proceed and do well in the Confederations Cup. And Chelsea, they need additions to beat Golden Kicks. So I'm not going to underrate Golden Kicks. In as much as I admit that there are certain departments, Kotoko team here additions. But what I say, for instance, the wings of Kotoko here additions. The right back and left back of Kotoko here addition. The central midfield of Kotoko here options. Here additions and options. Players almost some form of variation of the Babeshi game to turn things around. The team need that. What we come on and say. But the bottom line is that is for a bigger competition, which is Africa. Locally, I think the Kotoko team have enough men to do well in the FA Cup. Now, there's one thing about the FA Cup. Your ball league new year and send your boy FA Cup. No? So now that Kotoko crack on anymore. Conversation is Kotoko focus on league. No focus on FA Cup. No, it's neither here nor there. It's a FA Cup local final. Oba at least a real league. No. In this case, we focus on FA Cup. Now, there's all the youth team players. Never bomb matches. Naka to say we no. You can still win the league because it is 3 points between Kotoko and Nations. Nations Kobo Legon Cities, which is the next game. Gold Stars budget 3 points free against Inswatrema, no problem. Meaning Gold Stars, the advantage for Gold Stars ahead of Amoah Chomene Kotoko, Meboni say they will have 2 weeks break of not playing active football. And when the positives were negative, positive near so when you enough rest. Gold Stars week you are ball. All Ghana Premier League teams, with the exception of more FA Cup and the ball. All other teams are mobile. When you rest. Then next week, which is Sunday, and the week league name Koswa Kotoko Dreams Okumaseno. Gold Stars is supposed to play in Swatrewa away, and now we all know the Swatreman situation, meaning Gold Stars be saying another week of rest. So 2 weeks of rest. But it still doesn't change the story. Say too much rest can make players jittery. Wait till my players are rusty. Too much rest can refresh the energy of players for them to come to the field and deliver. But the good news is, Sar rest ya ken. And ya dia Kotoko ebe Wednesday, no abo Sunday. Senka Kotoko bo dreams Wednesday. Na the Sunday fufro akwa kobo Gold Stars. E hon na abe kase all fixtures near piled out kakra. But you are going to get a week break to play Dreams and get another week to play Gold Stars. And that way now match is not spacey out, no. And man ain't crowded amount. So with 3 points, leading Gold Stars, leading Kotoko with 2 points, winning Gold Stars no match. If you beat them, wasano. So the future of Kotoko in the league is not entirely in the hands of Asante Kotoko. But the bottom line is there is that window of opportunity, which a big club, you don't close that window until it is over. And I'm expecting the team to use this particular game as a source of motivation. Normal for energy from the real league in the league to complete the ambition of the supporters, which is to completely dominate Ghana this season, win the league and win the FA Cup. It's an community. Yes, FA Cup near 1 game away from final, but it is still within your hands. Let me play the coup by throwing the pressure on your opponent. But a big club like Kotoko, Siababe drew baby and Yeni Nations and April League, Yeni Heart of Lions, and Yeni a year Gold Stars. Kotoko must still bully their way and get the trophy. Now there's the fixtures. Nations with 2 away matches, 2 home matches. One of the home match is against Heart of Lions, meaning possible drop of points for either Nations or Heart of Lions. Lions 4 matches now Kano, or 3 away against 2 sides that are battling relegation in Baseke, Holy Stars, and also Young Apostles, and a 1 team that wants to win the league, which is Nations FC, making his fixture very difficult. Gold Stars, there were 2 away matches, but Baku in Swatre inti wafano wedi. Then Obebo Kotoko home, play another home match. I'm yet to remember. No akobo brekum Chelsea, which is an away game. Se we need to na can impona wo Kotoko koshena wasano. Then you Kotoko no, who Vision FC. Though they are in a relegation zone, but their next 3 matches and Sanomne Kotoko Bebono. Baku Yesu Atreman, which is 3 free points for them. Baku ye young apostles on only that relegation zone, but Vision ibo home. Now Vision asamba Karela will home. So if Vision can beat Karela, beat young apostles, pick the 3 points against Insu Atreman. By the time Obaba won the 4th match, the last match of the season against Kotoko, that 9 points will put him in a position that he will not be battling relegation. No battle relegation because Kotoko and found. What the answer Koshenwako. So that window of opportunity is there because the fixtures is not a done deal for all the clubs. Don't forget Nation Sobeko Baseke home. No Akobo Baseke 2 home matches against Accra, Heart of Lions and Nations FC. Baseke is not entirely safe. They need those 2 home matches to survive. Into the dynamics, you know, and that is why you must go all out. Let's give credit to the technical team. I mean, if Zito a winning match now, Kebe raised a lot of questions about the decision of appointing him. Sacking Ogumne die, nipa bebre share dan kan ho asem, but people will have issues with why they be replacing after you sacked him. Because all saki obi, na the oba be replacing ntimi anya de ye pamo no na adwuma na mboro so a. Na se wo nipa na wo sacking and wo mom na se start bisa wo why o yes ade no. And the story is that Zito need to give us results that would justify his appointment. And for now, so about 3 matches, no we need 2, no about draw 1. As compared to a team before say Obefano, not team number 4 matches. 4 matches without a win. Draw me, lose me, and on no abefa, and we need 2, no about draw 1. So to some extent, no matter the kind of opponent, there's been something which we normally call the new manager bounce. Because Kotoko against us, everybody was saying, Kotoko, the house watching, you're missing chances. We should have beaten us. So clearly, it's a team that seems to have some form of energy. They have some passion. They have some form of dedication. And the new manager is demanding something from them. I hope you somebody to transform their backfield. No, so send a Kotoko season and the world. Lastly, to the supporters. I mean, a chita for mo far bass. It be the free Kumase. Bro for ni bi kan ho. Ekwa kan atakwa for no ho, and the Western for no ho. To support Kotoko 90 minutes to make sure that the team is winning. Yentimi from Asedendi. You've done an excellent job. The Ebebon Pais and Yamenfo Biambe Drew Fiasun, Alexander Menumo, Mihu Anomo ho, Yamensa, Nana Yamensa, Moamoko inina, Moam de Bass, minivan, no free Kumasiko inana, Yamensa family and Bedrasun dream. But the point is, they should use this FA Cup final motivation to come and keep on fighting in the league so that we can end on a good note. Kotoko team here, Africa, Juma wo ho. And then no. You see that we make some meaningful additions, but that's a discussion for another day. Congrats to the team for getting to the finals of the FA Cup for the first time since 2017. FA Cup near the boss were Tyre also FA Cup after 2017 COVID. Now it's exposed in Tiniambo. But that's the year. You're back in the house, I bet you back to back. Then we have your dream self to Ababeji. And last year was in Suatremai. So we have 4 teams. Babajia, Kotoko Intiminjibi. And even in those occasions, Kotoko Krana Semimpo Mundru, but now they are the final, which is positive. More news about the injury of the players and all those things will follow later on this very channel. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Bye-bye.